Well, happy Thursday, everyone.
Hello?
We just wanted to come on here real quick and talk to everybody about the muddy waters in Otter Creek.
Yeah, water ain't getting no better, is it?
It is not getting any better. It's getting thick. I was saying, Otter Creek as the creek dries up, but I think it's just getting muddier.
It's quite a mess. So, we wanted to do a little video and talk about Zim's behaviors, and we don't quite understand what he's doing or why he's doing it. And I don't think he does either. To be honest, the more I'm seeing from him, the less he knows what he's doing. Because even if he were being honest with himself and honest with us, if you were to ask him, now if you go back 2 years and asked him, he would tell you he doesn't know anything about what happens in that office. He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know bookkeeping. That's not his thing. Computers, not his thing. But he's trying to play clerk now.
I'm a little shocked about the progression in the behavior. I mean, how can you train somebody to do a job that you don't know what it entails?
Right.
There's a lot of legalities in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're training them incorrectly, you're going to be putting the town in a lawsuit.
Now, he said he had been working on Ron's permit, and that's what we're talking about here mostly, is Ron's permit to get his power turned back on his house. This is not new construction. This was a limb fell that damaged the wire going to the house. Now he's just trying to restore power. It should not be that difficult. It should really only just take a phone call.
You shouldn't be running somebody around in circles. Power is really important, especially in the heat of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And he has animals in there. I personally, if I was the mayor right now, I would be driving down to the power company to get this straightened out.
Yeah.
If I couldn't achieve it over the phone, I would do it on my own personal time. I don't even care about getting paid for it. That's another human being. Let's forget about the fact that I'm the mayor of a town and I want my citizens in the town to thrive and my town to thrive. That's a human being. So even just as another person, you should want to go help that person to have power. It floors me. That is not the Zim that I knew.
No, not at all. Maybe he was just playing us. I feel like at this point he was just using you to get into
Are
that
you
office.
saying we've been duped?
I think we've been duped.
We've been duped by Zim. Well, that's really sad, and I feel terrible for the whole town.
So, I don't understand why Zim wouldn't stand up and take for his residents. Ron's power being restored trumps anything else he has going on. Should be his highest priority.
As a matter of fact, that's an opportunity of training for the new clerk who isn't really a clerk. I was a little confused watching Travis's video about that. So that is basically somebody that they've just got to sit in and who's really not a clerk and doesn't plan on being a clerk. I still am floored that the board doesn't vote in this position and that there's also not set days and times for the town hall to be open. They're just winging it.
Everything he seems to just be pulling out of somewhere. I mean, he's just making stuff up because he really doesn't know what he's doing. This is not Zim's forte. Okay, he's a contractor and he should understand permits. But understand, he hires somebody to process the permits. He wasn't processing the permits. He wasn't receiving the permits and having to fill them out and get them processed. Now he's on the receiving end of someone wanting a permit and he just doesn't know what to do. He's lost. And it sounded like I heard he's trying to say, well, the permit wasn't filled out properly. It has the wrong permit number on it. Okay, well, that sounds like an easy fix, right? Line through the incorrect number and write in the correct number, or make a phone call and get that guy's power turned on. There's really no excuse, no administrative excuse for that power not getting turned on to Ron's property. Now, talking about new permits, that's another animal. But you got to take care of your residents, or they're not going to take care of you.
Now, I see that the other clerk that they had hired after Jason left. So kudos to her because, like I said in the last video, run. And I have the same advice for this new person sitting in there, run. Because you're going to be put in a lot of liability. That's a very important position in the town. It is the most important position in the town. And if you see the person who is leading the town making such wrong moves, such illegal moves, such unethical moves, they're putting you in a very bad spot. And that's not a spot I would want to be put in for any amount of money. And I know it's not that much money.
Now, God forbid something happens to Ron. What if, it's hot down there. It's August. It's the hottest month of the year. God forbid something happened. He have heat stroke, an ambulance comes, or if the worst thing could happen, he could die. Do you think Zim could be culpable to that? Do you think he could be liable? I absolutely do think his delayed tactics and not securing this power to this house, it's been weeks, if I don't even know how many weeks, but I think at this point he owns some liability. He is definitely culpable to what could happen to Ron if he doesn't get power to his house.
It just floors me that you would put somebody in that position, and I'm thankful to Travis for helping Ron with this situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's really not easy, and I know a lot of people don't like to get confrontational and don't like to question the people that are in supposed power positions. So I'm thankful that Travis is helping him out. It just, I can't get past it. It floors me as a human being. Even if you don't care for that person so much, like, don't you have any kind of empathy, sympathy, compassion? Like, you have to have a really hard heart for it not to bother you that somebody just has no power.
Zim is acting like
I am Zim.
I am Tyrant Zim. We're going to do things my way. And I don't know what ways those are yet, but they're going to be my way. and you can't tell me how to do it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take my time doing it.
And he got quite aggressive, I feel, with Travis and shutting that door and basically saying town hall is closed and throwing somebody out.
Sounds like Russ the Sus, doesn't it?
He is sounding worse to me than Russ the Sus.
He's more manipulative.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when that big window was put into the office, that was put into the office, number one, for safety reasons, because people were coming into the office and getting a little aggressive. I know there was an issue with Dawn getting a little aggressive, and then some other people in the town lurking around while they may be under the influence, and it just is not a healthy situation. But besides that, there was talk about filming in the clerk's office and there being sensitive information.
Like out on the desk.
Out on the desk. So they didn't want filming in the clerk's office, which I understand. So they put in this window. Because if you're at the window, it's far enough away from the desk where you're not catching any sensitive information that may be laid out on the desk.
Correct.
So there's absolutely no reason why filming should not be allowed there. You should definitely be able to film in any public space. You're a public servant, and you shouldn't have any problem with people filming what you're saying.
If you're doing the right things.
Right.
Why not film it?
What's the problem? So here we have someone who doesn't want somebody filming at all. They don't like the meetings being filmed. They don't want anybody walking in there filming. Why? What is there to hide? You wanted a drama-free town, but you are creating content for people and you say, I'm not giving you content, shut that camera off.
That's content.
If you're doing the right thing, you aren't giving somebody any content when you're behaving in that manner, shutting them down, closing the office. Now you're handing over content because the numbers were dwindling on the drama-free meetings, if I'm not mistaken, where people were like, we're getting bored watching this, so it was dying out. So the longer there was no drama, less views. But now you've restoked the fire.
You put another log on it, didn't
like everybody's watching once again, waiting to see what's happening. What is Zim doing now? Comparing him to Russell. So you've just created content. You've created shadiness and corruption. Like, what is happening? I can't believe it. And then when you don't know the right answer to give to somebody, instead of just being humble and saying, you know what, I'm really not sure, but I will take the time to do the research, get in touch with some people, give me your phone number, and I'll get right back to you. I'll keep in touch with you, even if I don't have answers in a couple of days. I'll just say, hey, I'm still working on this. I don't have anything yet. Like, why can't you be humble enough to admit that you don't know the answer? Not everybody knows the answer to everything all the time.
Right.
But will you take the time to learn? Do you want to serve the people? Do you want to make things better for people? But instead, you get aggressive and angry and shut them down and throw them out. Isn't that one of the signs of like dementia when people start doing that?
Yeah.
So I hope that is not the case. I certainly don't want anybody to be unhealthy, but these behaviors are very unhealthy.
Now, I want to say real quick, when we're talking about this window, it's a slider window that hasn't always been there. It was put in to create some distance between the clerk and the customer.
Right.
The clerk's desk is not right under the window.
No.
There's enough room for two people to go around in front of the desk and stand and still be way off the window. It's about 6 feet from the window to the desk, I would say. Probably 5 to 6 feet.
So you're definitely not going to catch sensitive information if you're holding a camera.
And that's
out
even
here.
if they're like this in the window, which he wasn't. He was
he never even showed anybody's face anytime he's been in there, which is very respectful, because believe me, he has every right to show their face.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm pretty floored by his behaviors. And I thought after a few videos went out, he would kind of tone it down and check himself. But it seems like he thinks he's right about everything.
He's hit the nitrous and he's going full force. Yeah. And you know what I find odd is these are the same behaviors that he claimed he did not like seeing in Russell. But yet he's replicating them and making them even worse.
They're worse, actually.
Yes. So I'm completely floored by this, and it should be very interesting to see the next meeting.
I still would like to know if Megan, the attorney, I'm still wondering if she knows anything about this yet.
I do wonder too, because nobody has mentioned that they've spoken to her, and I feel Travis and Ron should definitely be speaking to Megan.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they have and they're just not talking about it. I'm not really sure, but I would be on the phone with her pronto. I mean, the second that Zim did the first time with shutting everything down, I would have called her immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really our place anymore to reach out to Megan, but they could. They have permits in play,
right? And
Zim's giving them the runaround. They're absolutely entitled to talk to Megan and see if what he's doing is under her advisement, or is she in the dark about this. I'm going to guess she's in the dark. I don't see Megan doing this or telling them to shut this down like this. Absolutely don't. This is what has gotten the town in lawsuits before. They've been in 3 lawsuits, and it doesn't look like they've learned their lesson.
Now, I don't advise anybody to be getting in touch with the town or getting in touch with Megan. I personally have emailed the town a couple of times with no response. I've called and no one's picked up the phone because I do have some questions. They were just very basic questions that I would have thought I would get an email back right away, but obviously they are not answering emails. Now, I don't know if it's just my emails and phone calls they're not answering or if it's everybody's. I don't know that. So, but I do not encourage people that don't live there and don't have business contacting them. Now, of course, public records, everybody is able to ask for those if you need them. But if you really don't need those type of documents, I wouldn't flood them with that, especially a new clerk has to be pretty overwhelmed by the whole situation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if I'm telling you, if I came into that office not knowing anything about anything and seeing the mayor shutting people down like that and all this animosity going on in the town, I would hightail it out of there because no little amount of money is worth all that stress to me or to be put in a legal bind.
As long as he's acting like this behavior is what we're talking about, not his character. But he's very out of character the way he's acting. And if I can't imagine any town knowing anything about what's going on, or any person knowing what's going on, why would they invest in this town? Well, maybe Zim doesn't want them to invest in the town, and rightfully so. I mean, who would want to live in a town who has a tyrant as a mayor? This mayorship doesn't have power by itself. He's trying to create power, and it's illegal what he's doing.
It sounds like he's trying to create a dictatorship.
Yeah, it's totally illegal what he's doing. Now, what's it going to take to get some enforcement against him? Someone's going to have to sue the town. That's really all you can do.
You need board members to stand up to them. And
Yeah.
the board members have every right to be talking to Megan about this situation as well.
Absolutely, they do.
Even if you're one of the board members who resigned. If you
Yes.
officially resigned, I still don't know that. But you do have every right to be calling Megan to find out what to do about this situation. Because, again, you live there. It's your town. And I don't think you should just turn the cheek and let this continue.
Yeah,
Because it's only getting worse.
Carl, Barbara, any of them could make a call.
Belinda.
Belinda could make a call.
And I still am praying that Belinda puts in a letter of interest to get on that board, as well as some other good folks.
Shuts him down. Make him powerless during his tenure until someone else gets in there.
That's the only way to fix the situation. You can't just turn your head and ignore the situation. It'll just get worse. You saw that happen with Russell when people stopped attending meetings and just let him do whatever he wanted. If you stop attending meetings, if you quit the board, that's the same thing that's going to happen. You're just giving license for him to behave however.
Now, I'm going to draw a parallel here. Zim is a little bit smarter than Russell. He has a couple extra brain cells in his pocket, okay? I'm going to draw a parallel.
Well, they must be in his pocket because they certainly ain't in his head right now.
He's not using them. I'm going to draw a parallel real quick. You got Lynette and John and their behaviors and what they've been going through without getting into too much detail, but law enforcement empowered them by not doing anything about it, right? They just got away with it. So what does that do? That empowers their bad behaviors. You're rewarding bad behavior. Okay, now draw a parallel to what the ethics did against Russell. There were 11 or 13 violations against Russell, and they were all valid. We're fully aware of all of them. And they were valid. And what did they do? They didn't do nothing. They went down them and they said nothing. They decided not to do anything. So all Ethics Commission did was empower Russell's bad behavior. So now here comes Zim. So now Zim is acting just like Russell, knowing full well if someone wants to file an ethics complaint, because that's really their only recourse, that nothing's going to happen. He's even said it to us. Oh, don't worry about it. Ethics just takes a little while and it ends up being nothing. Well, he's right. They don't seem to be doing anything. So when you have Lynette and John's behaviors overlooked by law enforcement, and you have a former mayor whose actions were definitely illegal, and they were allowed to act any kind of way they want with no repercussions, nothing happened to them. Zim's like, well, I'm the king here. What are they going to do to me? Nothing. Because they've already set a precedence. I mean, the county's done it, the state's done it, and now they're just getting away with whatever he wants to do. Because he's like, what are they going to do to me? They're not going to do nothing. I can do what I want. And he's kind of right. Unfortunately. It's sad. I hate to see that. And
I'm really kind of shocked that someone hasn't gotten in touch with the local news team to have them down there to talk about the sunshine laws.
Yes.
And the breaking of the sunshine laws.
He's done it on video.
With telling them it's illegal to record and just throwing them out of the office, basically. I'm honestly surprised that nobody has gotten the news team involved to talk about what is going on in Otter Creek once again.
And then Zim tried to say, I'll talk to you when you turn off that device. Oh, well, since your device is still on, we're closed. Well, which is it? Are you closed or are you open? Are you going to talk or you're not? So it's the same Russell wants to do. I make a motion we adjourn the meeting. When there was a big discussion in the room going on, and he wants to adjourn the meeting, right in the middle of a big discussion. Well, that's what Zim is doing. He's basically saying, I'm going to adjourn my own meeting here. We're not going to talk anymore. I'm done talking to you. And not giving him any answers. He's not telling him why with the permit, why it's not moving forward, what do you need from him, why is it taking so long. He's saying he's been in that office for 2.5 hours. Doing what? He could have hooked up the wire himself in 2.5 hours. How long does it take to process a flipping piece of paper?
Yep, and again, if he doesn't know what he's doing,
it's frustrating.
He shouldn't be sitting in that office.
He shouldn't be in that office.
Now, I didn't know anything about being a clerk when I was trying to get stuff straightened out, but I'm a fast learner.
You are. Yeah.
And Deanna was in there and Belinda, and we all put our heads together, and we got in touch with Chief Lynn and Bronson, and we talked to other people, and we figured it out and spent countless hours in there. But if you don't have the capabilities, because not everybody does, and I'm not shaming somebody for not having those capabilities, but if you have no business being in there, then what are you doing in there? And why aren't the other board members in there doing stuff too? It sounds like a huge failure. If you can't run the town and you can't run that office, you need to unincorporate. You honestly do.
That's really the only answer for this town, but will it ever happen? Probably not.
And Jason made comments on videos that Zim behaves like a bully.
We've heard that term bully used by a few people.
Yes, that he just overtalks you, cuts you off, and shuts you down, and
doesn't answer your questions.
That's not what a leader does.
No.
That's not leader material.
Nope.
You can't do that. And I know we're all humans, and at times we may not say the most gracious things, but you come back, you take accountability, you apologize for those things, you correct yourself.
Yeah. Now, I'd like to know, too, what is a permit inspector? When he said that, I was like, what? Zim is really throwing out some garbage now. What's a permit inspector?
I mean, there's a building inspector.
And they inspect
what has been built.
The work that you're doing. But
it's kind of in the name.
I didn't know the permit needed inspecting.
No.
The piece of paper needs inspecting.
When you fill it out and hand it to the clerk would go over and say,
they read it over. And
I'm seeing some errors here. Here is what you need to do.
Make a correction here.
And they guide you, because they should know those materials. And Zim, I think Travis is right. Zim should know those materials from all that he's filled out personally for his RV park, as well as he's a contractor. That if you're a contractor, you deal with permits. That's part of what you do.
Yeah, that's a regular job description.
So he should be well versed and be able to help somebody fill it out. But apparently, he's just well versed in how to shut somebody down.
Yeah, he's well versed in BS, is what he's well versed in. I'm just getting really agitated because I can see Travis's and Ron's being more than patient.
Yes, he is.
He walked away and he could have asked the hard questions, and he's just being patient. I would have lost my patience with him. I would have freaking come unglued.
Well, yeah, because you paid money, then you're told that
he paid money. I don't think he should have paid.
That a permit was never issued.
Why not? Dereliction of duty. Fired.
And then there's an inspector's fee.
What is that?
And what does it cover?
He don't know. He doesn't tell you.
I mean, you should be so well versed that you can say, bam, 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 and, you know, they're the citizens in your town. Yes, you hold their hand. You sit down with them. You take time out of your day to explain things to them. How many people in that town are doing permits anyway?
Just a handful.
It's not everybody who lives there.
One or two. It's not
so
everybody.
Why can't you take the time necessary to have happy people in your town? Guess what's going to happen next election? As well as it should, because you're showing what you're all about.
Yeah, you're a crap leader.
That's just honestly horrible.
Yeah, I normally don't have this many adjectives, and I'm refraining myself, but I just can't. I just keep picturing Russ, and I just want to come through the window at Zim, but I try not to get personally affected by this stuff, but I just get so upset when you see blatantly people either being stupid or acting stupid, and your decisions are hurting other people's livelihood. Like, all this guy wants is to turn his refrigerator on, turn his air conditioner on. That's all. And he has every right. That's not Zim doing him a favor. It's his right to have those things in his house turned back on. Zim needs to do his freaking job and get that power turned back on at all costs. I would have personally not charged Ron for a permit fee, especially when you're not even up and operating correctly. Like, you're fumbling the football every time you touch it. So until you get your office in order, you just connect Ron, and he's a contractor. So he could have looked. He's come over to my campground, and I wired a box, and I know he knows how to do it. So I was like, "Does this look right to you?" He's like, "Yeah, that's good." And then don't forget to do the ground, and don't forget to run it off here. And,
I can't believe they're charging $50.
Ridiculous
for that.
Yep, they're trying to scalp them, and I don't understand it. If the town can't afford to manage its own water, it's because of your poor management skills.
No amount you're going to charge for permits or for the monthly water bill is going to pay for all the chemicals that you have to put into that water. That's always going to be a failure situation. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking to make your money for those type of things off of that, it's not going to happen. Stop gouging people.
It's the grants that support these small towns.
It's not a bunch of rich people that live in this town that can even afford that. So now you're taking money off their dinner table, away from their utility bills, mortgage payments, whatever it is that they need to pay. You're taking that money away from them to do what with?
So he's charged $50, and I understand he's charged another $300. That's a lot of money. We never paid that much for a permit. I think our commercial septic permit was $450. The power permits were only about $75, $80, something. They weren't very much. So he's absolutely overcharging him for what he's doing, and he's not even doing anything. Like, he's not answering his questions, his power's not on, he doesn't call and get things fixed. All he's doing is throwing roadblocks, and I absolutely don't understand it. I just hate what he's doing.
If you want to put yourself in that position, then you should be there again for the right reasons. And you should have patience and understanding and the ability to learn.
Yeah.
Like life, all throughout life, you're going to need to continue learning. And that's what keeps you vibrant anyway, is to continue learning. if there's a day where you think you just know everything and there's nothing else to learn, you are clearly delusional and you've got some kind of God syndrome going on. But none of us, not any one of us on this planet, is ever going to know everything about everything.
No.
Only God does.
So that town of Otter Creek, they still do not have a building department. I don't care what Zim tries to call it.
Well, if they had a building department, none of this would be going on, would it?
That's right, that's right. And he should not be involved in permits whatsoever. He absolutely doesn't have any say.
And if Joseph
yes or no.
Payne is the building department, then why can't he answer the necessary questions?
Why does he have to
refer to Zim?
Right. That's shady.
And I still don't understand why the power company had to refer to Zim, because that's separate.
I don't know why
they should be able to answer any question. Power isn't dependent on the dictator.
I don't know why they're kowtowing to Zim. That'd be the last person I'd kowtow to.
But this is the problem in a little town in the good old boy system where different people know everybody for years and they're getting all these little sidebar conversations and favors.
I mean,
it just makes no sense.
You can have friends at work and you can grow up together and work in the same department wherever you are, but you got to still do things the right way. And if your friend decides that he's going to go do some shady stuff, you don't side with them.
No.
You cut it off.
I've worked where plenty of my friends were my boss, and when I'm on the clock, that's my boss.
Right.
And I'm doing my job. I'm not over here like, hey, I'm your best friend. What kind of favors are you going to do for me? No. Matter of fact, because they're my friend as well as my boss, I'm going to go even above and beyond what I would even do already because they're also my friend. So I want to help make them look good and do my best. So I even go way above and beyond. I would never expect someone to breach their duties to show me some kind of favoritism because I'm their friend.
So I'd like to know what a permit inspector is, and I'd like to know what an inspector's fee is.
Where is the list of fees anyway? Because I don't see anything but old list of fees online.
They still don't have any ordinance to back up any of this garbage that Zim is spewing out to Travis. He doesn't
that should have been handed to Travis immediately.
I can't believe they don't at least have a checklist. At least Russ, the same day, like a couple hours later after I quit, tried to hand me a checklist of something that was typed out. Now, it wasn't typed out very well, and there was only about 6 things on there, and he just made them up, but at least he had a piece of paper, and at least he had handed me something. Zim hasn't even done that. He hasn't documented anything. He's just spewing garbage out of his mouth like this, and I can't believe the stupidity that is coming out of his mouth. There's an inspector fee, and then
the countdown is on
fee
because next week is the meeting.
He's probably going.
Right? You think he's going to cancel the meeting?
Probably.
Huh.
Or maybe there won't be a quorum. But I can tell you what Zim is doing. Any actions that he wants done, he'll just do them back door, like Russell used to do. He's calling these people and calling those people and writing this up and writing that up or getting somebody to write it up. And he's probably trying to pass ordinances without the board. That's what they do. People like this will try to use backdoor methods of doing shady stuff to get it on the books. So now he can go back in 6 months from now and go, oh yeah, we approved this back in August in the August meeting. August meeting? You didn't have one. You canceled it. Oh yeah, we approved this back then in August. And it's signed right here by the clerk, and I've signed it, and it's official. I'm calling BS, Zim. You're full of it.
Well, don't hold back. Tell me how you really feel.
I'm so upset, man. I just can't believe it's starting again. And he has no reason to do it. He has no personal gain in not hooking up Ron's power.
I still
it's completely
am floored by this. And I know there's been a lot of people in the comments that are like, oh, well, I can't believe you're floored by this. We've seen this all along, but this is not
This is a new
who
level.
I've seen.
This is a whole different level. Like,
it really saddens me, and
Yeah.
I pray that y'all take your town back.
yeah, if you don't, then it's kind of your fault.
Get passionate about it.
Get on that board and vote no on all this stupid stuff that he's doing.
Pray about it. You need to make your voices heard, and that's what I always wanted to do, was let you guys know that you can do that.
Yeah, we're praying for you, but we're spectators in this circus because Zim, thanks for all the content, man. We appreciate it. Actually, we don't. We'd rather not talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying right now.
It's like two sides to the story.
You know, the whole thing really saddens me, and I would have hoped that the good people would get passionate about their town and realize that they can have a voice, that they are smart enough to be on the board, that it doesn't matter how eloquently you speak or any of those things. You're a valuable part of the town. Make yourself known.
Yeah.
You're worthy.
Zimtown 1.0.
That's what I say about that.
I wouldn't move there. You couldn't pay me to move there. I'm so glad we got out of there before. Well, had we still been there, you would have still been there, and it would have been. This would all been a non-talking point.
I know, and that makes me feel even worse.
I know,
But
you got to live your life too. You know?
yes.
Had the town rallied behind you, like I really thought they would, and some did, but not enough. And it's just kind of sad. This is what they want. This is what the town
had
wants.
they have, I would have stayed there longer.
Yeah.
You know, my vision and my plan was probably another 5 years there before we sold the campground.
And that was my vision too, 10 total years.
But, yeah, he said 10, I had 5. But
well, 10 starting from 0.
It got very accelerated because of all the constant stress and anxiety of living there and dealing with Russell
the
and
personal attacks.
all the things going on.
None of it's professional. None of it had any basis or anything. Or else I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, let me go fix this. Or come at it a different way.
But I liked having the campground. I liked meeting the people that came in, most of them that came in. There were some bad apples. There's always some bad apples.
Those are the ones that didn't stay very long.
But, you know, those parts was nice, so I would have definitely loved to enjoy it for another 5 years, as well as we had just expanded, so it would have been nice to enjoy the fruits of our labor for a little bit before we passed it on to someone else.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad for the awesome owners it has now. And if anybody's visiting Otter Creek, make sure you stay at Shady Oaks Campground.
Yep, not the other campground.
Rex and Janelle are wonderful people, and we're very blessed that they are the ones who purchased Shady Oaks. They're the right owners for that campground, and anybody who has stayed there knows how wonderful they are. So I can't give them enough kudos.
Yep. So if you want to visit, if you're there to visit Cedar Key or Bronson, Chiefland, Tubetown, stay in Shady Oaks.
Yep. They'll be more than happy to accommodate you there.
Yep. It's a friendly place. They got more trees. They got shade. That new park down the road doesn't have any shade in it. And, well, anyway, I digress.
We better get Brett off of here. He's just a little bit...
I need to step down off of this soapbox.
He's just a little emotional about the situation
these permits,
right now.
I really get razzled.
I'm over here ready to cry, and he's over here ready to roar. So, anyway, it's been great talking to everybody.
Yeah.
I enjoy our time talking with everybody. I pray for Travis and for Ron and all the beautiful people in the town. Please, please, do something. You have voices, use them.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to y'all again soon. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Peace and love.